G'day, wonderful listeners. This is episode 79 of Trev's Talk, and I'm your host, Trev. Last week, I left off talking about dreams I've had concerning my ex-wife and how those dreams reassured me that my ex-wife would receive the Holy Spirit and end up in the same place as me. I am expecting to end up in the best place, which is heaven. So that means I'm expecting my ex to end up there as well. The big test for my dreams is coming up when the head medical officer at CASA gives me a conditional medical clearance to fly or not. As I told you in last episode, she is to make a decision on my personal plea to her for a conditional clearance so I can fly around regional country towns raising funds for my Moorditj Scholarship Fund project. I've had 3 special dreams telling me that I will pass my flying test, and if that is a true prophecy, then CASA must give me medical clearance to fly. I sent my plea letter into the head medical officer by registered mail, so I will be informed when she picks the letter up from the Canberra Postal Service. She will have to prove her ID to get the letter, and the post office will advise me through their tracking system that she did pick it up. Now, she may take a few days to pick the letter up, but sheer curiosity should ensure that she does so. Surely she would want to know who has sent her a registered letter. As well as time delay caused by her dilly-dallying to pick my letter up, there will also be time delay while she makes her decision whether to allow me to fly or not. So, wonderful listeners, here is the thing. If I get conditional medical clearance to fly from CASA, then my special dreams are spot on. They are truly prophesying future events. I so far have been refused medical clearance at every stage of the whole list of appeals I've made. I've made every appeal open to me in the normal way, and now am depending on a personal appeal to the head medical officer, which is a plea outside the ordinary practices of CASA. Remember also that I am 85 and still have a history of mental illness, even though it is 2 decades old. Any normal person would give me no chance of getting the clearance to fly, but I am relying on the 3 dreams ending with me passing my flying test. Considering all previous refusals, my age and mental illness history, then if I should be granted medical clearance, I could almost say, hey, it is a miracle. Surely you, wonderful listeners, would agree with that. Now, when I get the medical clearance, I'm feeling that I should put forward a pitch for a story to the ABC. In actual fact, whether the head medical officer gives me the clearance or not, there is a story. Using my AI assistant, Boris, I can write a pitch that would have a good chance of the ABC picking up for a show on Compass or Australian Story. There are many aspects to my story from before, during and after my visit to Medjugorje back in 1990 and up to 2021 when I published my autobiography detailing massive changes to my lifestyle. Since 2021, I continued my journal and started my podcast. Both of those record more amazing events that have occurred in my life between 2021 and now. I believe Our Lady at Medjugorje wants me to get the word out into the public domain about what she is doing there, tirelessly, now, and amazingly, since 1981. The world needs to know about it. People need to get ready for the 10 secrets of Medjugorje to be proclaimed to the whole world. The public needs to be warned that an illumination of conscience is coming and there is going to be great changes in the world. If I should get my story taken up by the ABC, I will get a platform where my voice has a chance of being taken seriously. I have learnt that without a public platform, your voice might as well be silent, because without a public platform, your voice is less than a whisper. It goes unheard and is useless for getting change. Also, there is the Medjugorje, which will be fully empowered after I'm involved in some big publicity, which I've told you about in previous episodes. I can do a lot of good with Medjugorje if it helps with healing. Since my return from Darwin, feeling refreshed and re-energised, I checked on how long it's been since Chelsea from the Salvos had emailed me to say she had contacted the Salvos National Command in the eastern states. She had told them that she and her husband Daryl, head of Salvos here in the West, wanted to take the opportunity of co-founding the Moorditj Scholarship Fund project and was asking for clearance to do so. When I looked up Chelsea's last email to me, I was a bit surprised to see almost 6 weeks had passed. So I fired off an email to her to ask if the Salvos National Command had given their blessing to Chelsea and Daryl taking up the position of co-founder of our scholarship project. Chelsea responded and said she had emailed National Command sometime previously and would now follow up with a new email request for clearance to join the other co-founders in the scholarship project. So, the Salvos are still uncommitted at this stage. The Catholic Church has also not committed as yet. Big organisations like the Catholic Church and Salvos are really big organisations and move slowly, so I'm not too worried about whether they will eventually commit or not to the project, given more time. So in case one of them does not commit, I thought to reach out to Margaret Court of the Victory Life Church for a meeting for me to discuss a project aimed at the education of Aboriginal youth. Pastor Margaret is a good Christian lady running a well-established church that would most likely be interested in improving the lives and futures of young Aboriginal students. As well as the Victory Life Church being a co-founder possibility, there are many other Christian organisations in Perth that I could approach if I need more co-founders. That is part of the plan, actually. I will be aiming to get more organisations involved, as each set of 4 co-founders would cover scholarships for a whole other school. There are 4 schools that closely surround our local Aboriginal school, and each of them has a large cohort of Aboriginal students that would definitely benefit from a scholarship fund such as our Moorditj Fund. This is why it is so important for me to get out into regional country towns and raise funds and co-founders. The more of those I can raise, the more schools I can engage a scholarship fund project with. Just think of towns like Geraldton or Kalgoorlie, or many others that have large populations of First Nations people. Scholarship fund projects would be really something for Aboriginal students in those country towns. Only me, and not anyone else, has a vision for scholarship fund projects like our Moorditj Scholarship Fund project. I know how to gather co-founders and supporters to start these forms of help for our First Nations people. I have the ability to draw more schools into a beneficial scholarship project and set them up to improve the education of many students. It is vital to my plan that I get around country towns as well as city towns, engaging schools, raising co-founders and financial supporters so my style of scholarship funds are established as widely as possible. Once I get a few schools properly established and a system in place that I can pass on to either a person like me or a large charity with staff, then, and only then, I can rest. So that's it for this week, wonderful listeners. I look forward to chatting with you again next week. Please keep me in your prayers. This is Trev, tuning out.